Good morning. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you changed? Not just a small adjustment. I mean a real deep transformation. Shift that forced you to think differently, to become something more than you were before. Most people fear change. They resist it, avoid it, fight it, because change is uncomfortable. It disrupts routines, challenges beliefs, and pushes us into the unknown. And yet everything great, every breakthrough, every revolution, every success comes from change. Look at the world around us. The companies that dominate today weren't even possible 20 years ago. The technology we use daily was once just an idea in someone's mind. The careers that people thrive in now didn't even exist when many of us were kids. The world moves forward, and the ones who refuse to change get left behind. But here's the truth. Change is not the enemy. Stagnation is. If you want to grow, if you want to succeed, if you want to be more than you are today, you have to embrace change, not just accept it, but actively seek it out. You have to look at every disruption, every challenge, and every shift as an opportunity. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do you think they got there by playing it safe? No. They adapted. They evolved. They took risks. They saw change not as an obstacle, but as fuel for growth. The biggest trap in life is comfort. We all love feeling secure, feeling like we have things figured out. We build routines, we develop habits, we stick to what we know. But here's the problem. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. The moment you stop challenging yourself is the moment you start falling behind. Because while you're staying comfortable, the world is changing. While you're holding on to what's familiar, new opportunities are passing you by. Comfort feels safe, but growth only happens outside of it. Take a moment and think about this, what's something you've always wanted to do, but never did because it felt risky. Maybe starting your own business, switching careers, moving to a new city, learning a new skill. What held you back? Was it truly impossible? Or was it just uncomfortable? The fear of change is not a real obstacle. It's just your mind trying to keep you in the safety of what you know. But the irony is, the longer you stay in your comfort zone, the more uncomfortable life eventually becomes. So you have two choices: change on your own terms or be forced to change when the world leaves you behind. Change is inevitable, but the way you respond to it is a choice. Some people cling to control. They try to force things to stay the same, to protect what they know. But control is an illusion. No matter how tightly you hold on, the world will continue to shift. The real power lies in adaptability. The ability to adjust, to evolve, to see opportunities where others see problems. That's what separates those who thrive from those who struggle. Look at the companies that have changed the world. They weren't stuck in old ways. They saw the shift, adapted, and grew. Look at the people who made an impact. They weren't afraid to step into the unknown. They took risks, embraced uncertainty, and found success in the process. The most valuable skill you can develop in today's world is not intelligence, not talent, but adaptability. Because intelligence and talent mean nothing if you can't adjust to the future. The biggest reason people resist change: control. We love control. We want to feel like we're in charge, like we can predict and plan everything. But control is an illusion. The world will change whether you like it or not. The only real power you have is how you respond. Do you cling to the old ways, trying to keep things the same? Or do you lean in, open your mind, and find new ways to thrive? The moment you stop fearing change is the moment you start growing. Some of the greatest moments of your life won't come from things going exactly as planned. They'll come from unexpected opportunities, from challenges that force you to grow, from taking risks that led to something greater than you ever imagined. The next 5 years will not look like the last 5 years. New industries will rise, old ones will disappear. Technology will evolve faster than ever. The question is, will you evolve with it? Because here's the reality: you don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to predict the future. You just need to be ready. You need to develop the mindset of someone who sees opportunity and change instead of fear. If you can do that, you will never be left behind. If you can do that, you will always find success no matter how much the world changes. And if you can do that, you will grow into the person you were meant to become. So don't resist it. Don't fear it. Run toward it. Because your next big breakthrough, your next great success, your next version of yourself, it's waiting on the other side of change. Growth begins where comfort ends, and transformation begins where fear takes hold. Comfort feels safe. It's predictable, familiar, and easy. But nothing extraordinary ever happens in comfort zones. Comfort is where routines replace risks, where potential remains untapped, and where dreams fade into someday. But here's the truth: real growth, deep, meaningful, life-changing growth only happens when you step beyond comfort and into the unknown. Think about every major breakthrough in your life. It probably didn't happen when you were sitting in a familiar place, doing the same thing you've always done. It happened when you took a risk, faced a challenge, or made a bold decision. Maybe it was moving to a new city, starting a new job, ending something that wasn't serving you, or learning a skill that intimidated you. The most defining moments in life are the ones that push us past what's easy and force us to become more. But stepping outside of your comfort zone isn't just about taking random risks. It's about embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. It's about understanding that fear isn't a stop sign, it's a signal that you're about to enter new territory. And that's exactly where you need to be. Because the person you are today is only capable of what you've already done. The person you want to become. They live on the other side of discomfort. So the next time you feel stuck, ask yourself, am I avoiding discomfort or am I avoiding growth? The answer will tell you everything you need to know. Every time you resist change, you're not just staying where you are, you're falling behind. Think about it. The world is constantly evolving. Technology industries and even the way we think are shifting at an unprecedented pace. And yet some people cling to the past, holding on to outdated methods, old habits, and familiar routines, thinking they can avoid the inevitable. But progress doesn't wait for permission. It moves forward with or without you. Look at the most successful people, businesses, and innovators. They don't fear change, they leverage it. They adapt. They evolve. They find new opportunities where others see obstacles. The moment you start resisting change, you start resisting your own potential. You limit yourself to what's already been done instead of what could be done. You trade growth for comfort, opportunity for security, and success for stagnation. But here's the truth. Growth requires discomfort. Progress demands adaptability. Every breakthrough, every great achievement, and every defining moment comes from someone who refused to stay the same. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Every great innovation, every breakthrough, every revolution, personal or global, was born from change. Yet most people fight it. They resist because it feels uncomfortable, unpredictable, and uncertain. But here's the truth. Resisting change doesn't stop it. It only stops you from moving forward. Think about it. The industries that refused to evolve disappeared. The businesses that clung to old ways faded into history. The people who feared the future got left behind. Progress waits for no one. When you resist change, you're not just staying the same, you're falling behind. While you're holding on to the past, the world is building the future. And the ones who embrace change, they lead it. If you want to grow, succeed, and stay relevant, you must replace resistance with adaptability. Instead of fearing change, ask yourself, how can I use this? What opportunities does this create? What can I learn? Because progress belongs to those who move forward. And the only way to move forward is to embrace change, not fight it. We love the idea of control. We want to predict the future, control outcomes, and keep things exactly as we like them. But control is an illusion. No matter how tightly you hold on, life will throw unexpected challenges, industries will shift, and the world will change. You can't control the future, but you can control how you respond to it. And that's where real power lies. The strongest, most successful people aren't the ones trying to control everything. They're the ones who master adaptability. They don't fear uncertainty, they thrive in it. They don't resist change, they evolve with it. Think about it. The businesses that survive aren't the ones that try to force the market to stay the same. They're the ones that pivot, innovate, and lead new trends. The people who stay ahead aren't the ones who cling to what worked in the past. They're the ones who continuously learn, grow, and reinvent themselves. Adaptability is the real superpower. It's what separates those who survive from those who thrive. It's what turns uncertainty into opportunity. So let go of control. Embrace adaptability. That's where your true power is. The world is changing faster than ever. Technology, industries, and once groundbreaking are now outdated. What worked yesterday won't necessarily work tomorrow. Some people fear this. They cling to the past, resist change, and try to hold on to what feels familiar. But history has proven one thing over and over again. Those who refuse to evolve get left behind. Look at the most successful people, the most innovative companies, the most impactful leaders. They didn't get there by staying the same. They adapted. They learned. They evolved. Because the future doesn't belong to those who are the smartest, the strongest, or the most experienced. It belongs to those who are willing to change, to grow, to reinvent themselves. So the question isn't whether the world will change, it will. The question is, will you evolve with it? Your ability to adapt, to stay open to new possibilities, to continuously improve, that's what will determine your success. The future isn't waiting for you. It's being built by those who are ready for it. Breakthroughs don't happen by accident. They don't come from doing the same thing, thinking the same way, or following the same old patterns. Every major breakthrough, whether in business, technology, or personal growth, starts with a shift. A shift in mindset, a shift in perspective, a shift in action. Look at history. The greatest inventions, the boldest ideas, the biggest successes all started with someone who dared to think differently, challenge the norm, and break away from the usual way of doing things. But here's the key. Shifts don't happen on their own. You have to create them. You have to be willing to ask tough questions, step outside of your comfort zone, and embrace new ways of thinking. Because if you want different results, you have to make a shift. If you want to grow, succeed, and lead, you must be willing to let go of old habits and embrace new possibilities. The world doesn't reward those who wait for change, it rewards those who create it. If you're feeling fear, hesitation, or uncertainty about a big decision, that's a sign you're on the edge of something important. Every great leap forward, every breakthrough, every bold move, every innovation was met with fear. The greatest leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries didn't succeed because they had no fear. They succeeded because they moved forward despite it. Fear isn't a stop sign, it's a signal. It means you're stepping into unknown territory, pushing past limits, and challenging what's comfortable. And that's exactly where growth happens. So next time you feel fear creeping in, don't run from it. Lean into it. Use it as fuel. Because on the other side of that fear is something bigger than you ever imagined.